What's up everybody, this is DJ Jordan Nelson coming to you from the DJs Guru with a bit of follow-up bonus content for our ADJ WMX1 DMX Controller review. If you haven't already seen the full review, make sure you go watch that. We go in depth into a lot of functions of this controller, but one of the things that I just didn't have time for in that video was creating fixture profiles yourself. Now, ADJ has included a ton of fixture profiles inside the WMX1 and also on the Wolfmix website. There's thousands upon thousands, and you should be able to find a profile for your fixture if it's mainstream and has come out in the past couple decades. Now, if for some reason it's a brand new fixture or you can't find what you're looking for, you can make your own profiles right inside the lighting controller itself. And that's what this video is about. Now, before we dive into it, one thing you are gonna need is your lights manual. I've got mine pulled up here. This is for the Eliminator Stealth Spot. I've got the 15 channel mode layout right here. And what this tells us is what each individual channel controls, what parameter, what characteristic of the light, and what the different values within that channel mean. So for example, channel 5 is our color effect channel, and values 0 to 13 is open, values 14 to 31 is red, and so on and so forth. So you'll need to have this handy as you program. Now, returning to the controller, in the top right corner of our home screen is the fixture button. And once you open this up, this shows you that the fixtures that you've already got patched in. If you want to add a new fixture, you click the plus button right here. And then if you want to create your own profile, you're going to choose this button at the top that has a fixture with a kind of paper icon around it. That's the new fixture button. And that takes you to this screen. You're going to see a bunch of question marks. You're going to see this down here, test address, number of beams, number of channels, and then you can name it and then finish off the profile when you're done. So before we kind of dive into controlling individual channels, let's go across the bottom here. So test address. So if you have your fixture actually hooked up to the unit, you can set it to, for example, address number 1, and as you are programming the controller, you will see the light respond. You don't have to do that. You really don't need to hook your fixture up to create the profile, but if you wanted to do that, you can. But if you have the fixture addressed to channel 10, you can set it to channel 10, and again, the fixture will respond. We're not going to use that right now, but you have that option. Now, beams is very important for this controller because this has pixel mappable control, because you can, for example, say take an LED bar with 14 different individual pixels and control each one. You have to specify how many different beams the light has. We're just doing a moving head, which has a single LED diode, so we're not going to mess with beams. But let's say, for example, I created a profile for the Eliminator Frost FX bar, which has 14 diodes. I would have to raise this up to 14 beams. Okay, we're going to keep that on 1. And then channels 1 through 20, after you fill, if you've got say like 30 channels of programmability, after you fill the first 20, you can use this knob to access the other banks. And it's deactivated right now because we haven't filled up this first page. So to change the values of channel 1 or to set what that is, you just click the first check mark. You can also click the first pad, and you've got all your different channel types here: dimmer, pan, tilt, colors, gobos, etc. Now, if I consult my manual for the Eliminator Stealth Spot, it says that channel 1 is the pan control. So I just go up here on the top to pan and click that. Now for pan, you can set min and max values, but because we want to use the fixture's full range, I'm not going to adjust those values, and there really are no other settings to adjust at this point. So I'm going to back up. Looking at my manual again, channel 2 is fine pan. So if I want to access channel 2, I can click the question mark or the second pad. I'm going to click pan again, and then you'll see now that we've already got one pan channel set up. When I click pan a second time, there's an adjustment for micro. So you just want to click that little button, and now this is your fine pan control. Again, I'm not going to mess with the 0 or the 255, the min or the max. We'll keep those the same. So going along down the line, our third channel is going to be our tilt control. Don't need to mess with the min and max values. And then our fourth channel is going to be the fine tilt. So we click tilt again and then click micro. So now we've got our first 4 channels: pan, fine tilt, all set up. So let's go to channel 5. Now, channel 5 is where it's going to get a little more interesting. Channel 5 is our color wheel, okay? So for our color wheel, I'm going to select the color wheel option on the picker right here. And now we have to set up all the individual colors with their DMX values. So the first gobo is just your open, which is white right here. And that's for values between 0 and 13, okay? So I'm just going to leave that at value 0 and hit enter. So that's what white is. Now, the red color on the gobo wheel is for values between 14 and 31. So you just twist your knob here after selecting red, and I'll choose something kind of in the middle of 14 to 31. We'll do 20. And then you just click the encoder wheel, and now it's set our red at value 20. Then we've got our yellow. Yellow is values between 32 and 49. So we'll move this up to, let's say, 35 or 40, click enter, etc. So you're just going to do this for all the different colors in your wheels, in your color wheel, and then you can also select gobo wheel rotation. So for example, forward rotation, slow to fast, starts at value 140. So I would just turn this up to 140. That's the lowest rotation speed. Okay. And then the max rotation speed, according to my manual here, is going to be 195. So I would select max, raise it up to 195. Went a little too far. Click enter, boom. So now we've got three of our colors, excuse me, not our gobos, and then our wheel rotation right there. So you would do that for all of your colors in your wheel. For time, we're not going to do that. So that's channel 5. Channel 6 is going to be the gobo wheel. So once again, you click gobo. They've got pictures of all the different kinds of gobos right here. So if you know what gobo 1 is, for example, if it's this starburst kind of pattern, you can click that, select which value corresponds to gobo number 1, in this case value 10 or 12. And you click enter. Again, you have gobo rotation min and gobo rotation max, okay? Then we move down the line. Channel number 7 is gobo rotation. So there actually is a separate button for gobo rotation. You can select rotation off, rotation min, and rotation max right there, okay? Then we've got, moving down the line, sorry, I gotta open my manual here. We've got channel 8, which is our master dimmer. So again, dimmer's right up here at the top. You click that. Min value 0, max value 255. We don't need to adjust that. Then we come down to channel 9, which is shutter. Now this one takes a little more programming. So again, clicking the 9th pad, going over to the shutter button, we can select our values here. Looking at my manual, the open shutter is going to be anywhere between 251 and 255. So if you scroll this fast, it'll move fast. We'll just put 253. Then we've got closed. Okay, closed is going to be anything between 0 and 4, so we'll scroll that back down and we'll just do 2. And now we've got our strobe values. So strobe, we're going to go strobing slow to fast. So strobe minimum, we're going to set that to 5. And strobe max, we're going to set that, according to the manual, as 250. Okay? So just like that, we've programmed our shutter and our strobe. Okay? Backing up, going on to channel number 10, which is focus. Focus is right here. You set your min, you set your max. I'm not going to do anything with that. Then you've got your prism functionality. Basically with this, you can't access multiple prisms, unfortunately, unless I don't know how. So you just select prism off and prism on values. Then going down the line, after prism, we've got programs. So for programs, this really isn't meant to control like built-in lighting macros and stuff. So I would just click the other channel, and I'm not going to really mess with that because you're not going to utilize that. Going down the list after programs, we've got pan and tilt programs. Again, this is not meant to control like built-in macros, so we're just going to click other. We're not going to use that channel. Same with channel 14, which is pan tilt speed. We're just going to click other, and then channel 15, pan tilt program speed. So basically, we're not utilizing these last 4 channels because really this controller is just meant for movements, colors, and shutters. Okay, so now we've built our fixture profile. Okay. We didn't get into all of the specifics because you got to type in the values for all the gobos and the colors, but we're trying to save time here. So then you go up to that icon right there and you can name it. So I'm just going to name this, I'm going to capitalize E, and it's touchscreen, Eliminator, I can spell. And you don't have a ton of characters. I can't do Eliminator Stealth Spot, so I'm just going to do Eliminator Stealth. Oh, and got to remember to uncapitalize there. Okay, Eliminator Stealth, you hit the check mark, boom. So this is a setup profile. So after this, all you have to do is click done and then click save, and it would save it to your bank. Now this is kind of a messed up profile, so I'm not gonna use it. I'm gonna hit don't save. And that would put that fixture right here in the Wolfmix category. Then if you wanted to add it, you can just select it with the second encoder. So for Eliminator Spell Slot, let's say we wanna put in 4 individual ones, you'd click add 4, and then you could say, I wanna add them to a separate group, group C, and there they are right there. Now, I'm not going to use 4 more stealth spots, so you can select and deselect those. So I will actually select them all. I just deselected them, and then I will just delete them like that. And that is how you create fixture profiles on this controller. So hopefully that's helpful. Again, if you haven't already, make sure you check out the full review we did of the WMX1. It goes into all the different effects generators and these kind of flash buttons right here. But that's going to be it for today. If you're not already, make sure you're subscribed to the DJs Guru. Follow us for more lighting, audio gear, helpful tips and tricks and reviews. You're not going to want to miss all the content in the future. But that's going to be it for today. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.